operators say there's 3 things you need to take care of. That's your back, your hands, and your feet. You take care of those and you'll have a long career. What is up, monkeys? I am a loader hand today. I am pushing grass. I hate pushing grass, but we're stripping a new job, getting ready to start up a new pipeline, new job site. Old one's done. I've been off for a couple of weeks, taking care of my wife. She had surgery. She had a fused back, so I've been off. So now I'm back and I gotta make a little money, so anything is a good thing. Project I'm on, I was told, probably gonna go till September, so this is a good project. Got thousands of feet of pipe to put in. Going to be a twin force main sewer. Going to make a bore pit. We're going to go underneath a set of railroad tracks, so maybe hopefully I get some footage of that happening. So earlier we made a entrance, made a rock entrance, excavated out some material. I didn't get any video of excavating it out, but I did get some video of putting the rock down. Guys putting the fabric down, prep at the entrance, show you all the different things that we do, getting things ready for a new project to go. So it's just a bare minimum. I'm the only operator right now. Unloading pipe, I got video of that. We'll throw that in. So I was also thinking about starting to do like a vlog. Just talk to you guys every once in a while. Tell you how things are going. And you can't tell, I'm running an John Deere 824, fairly new machine, only about 1,600 hours. Nope, 1,300 hours. I'm not a big fan of John Deere loaders. Prefer the Volvos and Hitachi. I like the mirrors and whatnot better on them. John Deere's a good power though. They're great pushers. Komatsu's not bad. Komatsu's got a great, what is it, where the bucket floats. So that way you're not bouncing around. John Deere's free float or ride control. That's the word I was looking for. The ride control on these John Deere's are not very good. You gotta have a really heavy bucket full of stuff to actually get the ride control to actually do something. But the ride control on the Komatsus, those things are really, I mean, you can be full bore 4th gear with or without a load going across a bumpy job. And man, that thing it will keep you from bound. It'll keep all the tires on the ground. Right now, when I'm stripping the ground, I'm actually keeping the ride control off, so that way the bucket's not floating and bouncing around. Makes it easier to keep a consistent cut in the grass. So that way you can really control the depth of cut. If the ground is consistent. If you've got like a soft spot in the ground, not much you can do about that. You're gonna, when you hit that soft spot, the bucket's gonna dive. You just have to be ready for that. So it's just after lunch. Andy bought me a burrito earlier for a midday, for a 10 o'clock snack. I ate half of it and then ate the other half for lunch. It's pretty good. It's actually one of the better ones off of Roach Coach. Real greasy though. So if you guys want me to do vlogs and post up just kind of what's going on day to day, maybe once or twice a week I can post a vlog and just let you guys know what's going on. Either if you want to hear about what's going on in my life, maybe. I mean, like my wife having surgery. She had a fusion of her L4, L5. So I took 2 weeks off to take care of her, get the house prepared. She stayed in the hospital for like 4 days. The surgery went real well. And it's just a matter of her healing from the surgery now. I had a back surgery back in 2005, 2006 from a motorcycle accident. I used to race motorcycles, dirt bikes, and had a bad crash, came off the bike, landed on my rear end from about 15 feet in the air. It hurt. Thought I had paralyzed myself at that moment. Luckily, I crawled off the track and wiggled my toes and said, thank God. And then about 8 months later, I was in so much pain from the herniated discs I had. I had 2 discs that were herniated. Same place, L4, L5. I was leaking spinal fluid. At least that's what they said. I had like 5 or 6 discs that were all leaking spinal fluid and compressed and had damaged the actual disc. Wound up taking so much Vicodin that they cut me off on the Vicodin. I actually was going to work. I was taking up to, I think 8 was the day. I took 8 in one day, I think, and that was way more than I was supposed to take. But that was just to get me through the day. So you guys that have ever had back pain, you can back me up in the comments and let me know, because back pain is no joke. So it's one of those things you guys got to take care of, is your back. And luckily enough, my surgery went really, really well. And I'm hoping my wife's surgery, she gets the same result. Right now, she's just dealing with surgical pain. Talking to her about how she used to feel before surgery, where she would have these spikes of electricity that would go down her back and her back of her leg. Same thing I had. And I think mine was a bit worse than hers, maybe. Hard to tell when it's for different people. But she's dealing with the after surgery pain. So I got lucky. I didn't have a fusion. They just did a discectomy on me. Took out part of the vertebrae, not the vertebrae, but the cartilage out of my back. It was years before I actually recovered. I was able to go back to work within 3 months of my surgery. I got real, like I said, I got real lucky with the surgeon I got. It was the only surgery he did for years, and he was the best at it. So I got lucky I had him doing my surgery. It's kind of a funny thing. My back, I had problems for years. I had little pinches here and there, but nothing like what I had before. It just very uncomfortable, very not painful, but annoying, I guess. If you, like doctors always ask what's your pain level on a 1 to 10. The pain, I guess, would be a 4. I guess it would be a constant 4 with a little spike of a 5 or 6 every once in a while. I'd sit in the machine, I'd put my arms down on the rest, lift myself up and take some pressure off my back whenever I could. And that seemed to help a lot, decompressing where my surgery was. And then, what was it, last year, I'd say around September, October, just one day out of the blue, pain disappeared. It's just nothing. just like I was back to normal, and I still have limitations of what I can pick up because of the surgery, because they took, cartilage out of my back. But the pain I had, the discomfort I was constantly in all the time, just disappeared. The last several months, I've been completely pain-free, other than doing something stupid, picking up something too heavy, either here at work or at home. Which is, what we do. We do dumb shit. We're men. And that's the biggest thing I can tell the young guys out there is, you gotta take care of yourselves. I had an old guy back when I was in my 20s, when I first started out as an apprentice, I had an operator say there's 3 things you need to take care of. That's your back, your hands, and your feet. You take care of those and you'll have a long career. And so far, my feet have never really had any problems. My hands, I have a lot of problems with. I've got osteoarthritis in my hands. I think a bit of that is inherited from my grandmother and my mom. But my feet, depends on the shoes you're wearing. Make sure you spend some extra money, get yourself good quality shoes to wear, especially if you're standing a lot. As an operator, running a machine, sitting on your butt all day long, your biggest worry is your gut. Your gut and your back. Because as much as we sit in these seats and bounce around, it can jar you quite a bit. You're beating up your kidneys, you're beating up all your internal organs, your back is getting twisted and rotated and slammed down. Those guys that are on the ground, they give you shit about, hey, you're just sitting in the seat, you're not getting any pain or anything, you're not hurting yourself. The hell we're not. And I've had a few guys jump up in the machines. I'll let a laborer run my machine, just for a little bit, just so they can get a taste of it. And it's not a bad thing to let a laborer or something just, when you're in the right situation, they can just jump in and they're not going to be ruining anything. You're in an area like what I'm doing right now. I'm pushing freaking grass. Say, hey, jump on the fucking machine. I got to go to the bathroom or whatever. Find an excuse. Let them play around on it or something. Maybe there's a lull in the job. You can stick them on like the backfill machine. Let them screw around on it a little bit. When they get on it, they start pulling them levers, and they quickly realize it is not easy to do what we do. At least not at the high level. At the high level of operator, the ability to have the sensitivity that we have with our hands on the controls while the machine is bouncing around, that takes a lot of time to build up that sensitivity and that muscle memory to get to that point. So it's not just something you can learn overnight. It's something that takes time and effort to build up those skills. And it's not like you just go to a school and learn these things. They just teach you how to pull the levers and give you a roundabout idea of what you should be doing on the machine. Some schools, in my opinion, if you're going to a heavy equipment school and you're paying someone to teach you this stuff, you're wasting your money. Because you can go to any company, if it's a non-union company, just say, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this for a career. I want to be an operator eventually. You start from the ground, they'll put you to work as a laborer or whatever and start you off. And you learn the trade from the ground up. I guarantee you, if you've got the hands and the skill and the eyes to be able to get good depth perception and control over the machines over time, having that ground man experience is priceless, because you'll you'll know what needs to be done before you actually get to that point. Because you'll see things coming and what people are doing on the job site and go, hey, you need to be doing this so when I get here, we're ready to rock and roll. And a lot of guys will just stand there and wait to be told what to do. And that's never a real good thing. So you always got to be looking ahead, making sure everything that you're doing is got a little common sense built into it, because that's more than anything is common sense on jobs like this in construction. You got to have common sense. And there's a lot of guys out there that just don't have any common sense, unfortunately. There's some guys out there that want to work real hard, but they're just missing that. They're just missing that one can of beer out of that six-pack, and they need to be told what to do. But if you're that guy that doesn't need that, I mean, you'd make a good operator as long as you're a good operator, good foreman, somewhere. Stripping grass. Kind of hoping something else would show up. Another load of pipe or something. Had 2 deliveries of, so we got 8,000 something feet of pipe today. We're gonna have, I think it's 6-inch and 8-inch. Not, I'd have to look at the plans to see what all we're getting into. But I know we got a lot. We're gonna run 2 pipes side by side at slightly different elevations. I'm gonna dig the trench all the way down to 1 grade, and then the guys setting grade, we're doing the subgrade. No, not, I'm digging subgrade. They're gonna do the sand grade or whatever material we're using for bedding. They'll set the finish grade in the bottom of the hole and then lay pipe. All I'm going to do is just dig. They're expecting me to get what is it? I need to get 400 or 500 feet a day, which is doable. Just got to see what kind of, see if we have see what kind of material we're going to be digging in, because I did a job out here in this area years ago, and it was hard pan. Down a couple feet down, we hit hard pan, and it didn't stop me with the machine I was running at the time. I was running a Cat 350 from 1996, and this was in like 2005. It had about 4,000 or 5,000 hours on the machine, but it had a short stick and a short boom. That thing had just tons of freaking digging torque, so I could run bigger buckets. It was slow, but that thing had tons of digging torque, and I like that. I don't need a super fast machine, because if you can pull a bigger bucket and move more material per scoop, you know, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, because if you're moving more material per scoop, you've got to move with a smaller bucket. You've got to move like twice as fast as that stronger machine with a bigger bucket to keep up with it. I'll always choose a slower machine with a bigger bucket. standing there staring at me, watching me go around in circles, making dust, kicking up all the pollen. Used to have to do this in an IT-28 open cab, old 80s rig for a small company. Man, I hated that. You wear a mask, do all this stuff. It didn't matter. Your eyes would be watering from all the dust and everything. It just sucked. So in that respect, this John Deere is nice because it's got a cab and an air conditioning on it that's keeping me cool. So that's the nice thing about a big company is you're probably going to have nicer equipment. It may not be the equipment you want to run, but it'll be some nice, decent equipment, hopefully. You can see I'm bouncing around, bouncing around. So the reason we strip, why we have to strip all the grass and strip everything out is they just don't want the grass mixing into the backfill when we dig and throw our spoils into a pile. They don't want all the native grass and stuff like that mixed in because it doesn't help with the backfill at all. It actually makes it harder to get compaction because it'll fluff back up instead of compacting. Freaking bird. Bird is trying to stop me from driven grass. Guarantee, bird, you're gonna lose. Either he's getting bugs or he's getting seed. Back to the stripping. Yeah, so you want to strip, get all the grass and get everything out so it's not mixing in with your backfill material. Also, it helps prevent starting fires on the job. So, you know, guys, we cut pipe, we cut metal, you know, you got hot machines, even if you're using a cutoff saw to cut plastic pipe with, that's hot exhaust, shooting out little sparks and whatnot. So you gotta make sure that doesn't start a fire. And I've been a part of a few jobs where we've started fires. Freaking bird. He really wants to be in front of me. But we had one job where we started a fire on a slope, and it had a whole bunch of this, what's called jute mat, just tweed or twine made into a mat that covers and helps stop erosion. That stuff lit up fast, and in the daylight it was hard to see the fire. It ran away. We were screwed. We got really lucky because another company, water truck, had driven past us, saw what was going on, and he turned on his side sprayer and just soaked the hillside and put out the fire. And we were like, oh God, what do you want? We'll give you anything for saving our butts like that. And that was a big deal. And that was a long time ago. That was back 2001, 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. And man, that was an event. We had another guy that started a fire up off of Highway 80, and that one got away from him, and he almost got himself hurt. He actually had grabbed a fire extinguisher out of his truck, a little 5 or 10 pound fire extinguisher, not gonna put out a grass fire. He was out there chasing it, and he got on the wrong side of it, of the wind, and he wound up inhaling a whole bunch of smoke, and fire department showed up, and they had to put him on oxygen because he had inhaled too much smoke. So something like that happens, you get out of the way. If you've got a machine that can put it out, if you're lucky enough to have a water truck or something on site that can put it out, go for it. But some companies have policies if you start a fire to just let it go and let the fire department deal with it, which sucks because in California we're pretty dense on population, and if you haven't heard, California likes to catch fire. So anytime that we can stop a fire, it's beneficial. Yeah, there'll be a little punishment afterwards, but it's way better than people losing their homes. Yeah, screw you, too. Universal hello sign, the finger. My ground man riding around with the boss, Andy. We're all back together. Andy actually had several months off of work. I didn't say anything, but he was involved in a accident at an intersection near his home that was really bad. He's telling me I gotta grub a certain area now. I gotta change what I'm doing. So those of you that are fairly new, it's thanks for joining and thanks for checking me out. I just got this new Insta360 camera, and I've had one or two people say it looks good compared to the GoPros I've been using, and it certainly is a better camera, way better. I mean, I was using old GoPro 8s. And even at that, I was only recording on those at 2K, but now we're in full 4K. Get the beautiful face again. See, we're beautiful. Oh wow, we're way over there. Bunch of existing utilities out here, non-potable water and spam. Alright monkeys, I want to say thanks for hanging out with me. If you watched this whole video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little tinker bell so you get notifications. And thanks for hanging out and watching my videos. And as always, keep your butt level and your ditch straight.